touch. You got the touch.
This is Stan Bush, and this epic video from Optibotamus truly has the touch.
Video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Generations Fall of Cybertron Kickback. As you guys remember, the original War for Cybertron line fell under the Generations line as well, and that's what they're kind of doing here again. But I absolutely love the new packaging for it. You got this really cool kind of CGI image of Kickback up there, very nice looking. Obviously you have the Fall of Cybertron logo down here. Flip it around here on the side, you see that he's Series 1, figure number 9. Come around here to the back, and I absolutely love this. Anytime that you get the old G1 style tech specs, I absolutely dig it. Now you see that he comes with a disc launcher, twin battle blades, and obviously has a Cybertronian insect mode. And then coming up to the top, it says, as the leader of his own squad of Decepticons, Kickback is more independent than most of those under the command of Megatron. He uses his freedom to surround himself with friends who he later then blackmails into becoming his servants. Really very cool. So obviously it shows that he is the leader of the Insecticons, and that is accurately shown down here as he's got a rank of 9. What I find interesting, though, he's got an intelligence of 9 as well, which is, for me, fairly high for an Insecticon. Really very cool, though. Kickback, I totally dig the way that this guy's looking. Hopefully the figure lives up to the hype. Real cool packaging. I'm really, like I said, excited to get this guy, so let's get him open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Kickback open up and out of its packaging, and obviously in his insect mode. Now, one thing that instantly grabs me is that this really does remind me of Kickback. The old G1 Insecticon. I mean, he obviously is still in this kind of grasshopper look, but this, for me, really could almost fit in any display. I mean, obviously this is a video game figure, but this really could also fit nicely on a classic shelf. I mean, this is a very nice modernized update to that classic G1 character. Absolutely dig it. As you can see, I mean, he does have his little wings and everything. Now, he does have a little bit more of the game feel because he's got these little claw things here, but that's not that big of a deal. I guess my minor nitpick with the overall look for him, I really wish that this jaw piece down here was actually maybe black. Just the gray just doesn't work for me. And then this does suffer from some QC issues. These bits right here don't like staying pegged down all that well. I mean, they do, but you really have to force them, and it's fairly fragile. But then this ball joint here is very kind of loose and flimsy on this side. This one's pretty good, the one on this side, but beyond that, it's just a QC issue. I'm not going to take too much off for it because, I mean, honestly, that's not Hasbro's real fault. It's the factory, I guess. But I guess one could argue that they choose that factory. So I guess we could blame them. He does come with this rocket launching thing. You just kind of put that in there and push that forward. It's really kind of interesting. A lot of these new weapons aren't spring-loaded or anything. They're just kind of push weapons, and you just push it and it comes flying out. As far as I can tell, there's no real place to store this in his insect mode. He does have a peg here, so I guess if you found a peg, you could probably, but I mean, like maybe there or something, but it would really kind of look stupid. And then he does have visible hand syndrome, although it's not too bad. It's kind of hidden underneath there, and it's kind of dangly, and you can't even really notice it, I guess, so we'll just forget about it. Now, one thing I will say about this guy is that the transformation is absolutely impressive. It's very complicated in a simple kind of way. There's a lot that's like, ooh, that's kind of interesting how that works. So to transform him, what we're going to do, we're just going to come out here to these legs. We're just going to kind of straighten these out. Take this foot section, rotate that around, and then just straighten out these legs like so. Do that on this side as well. And when you do have it like this, in insect mode, you can't extend these a whole lot more. I just choose to kind of keep it closer to the body, so it's just personal preference at that point, I guess. And just get these little guys, detach those, loosen these, kind of swing these out like so. They're going to come down and make his legs, but you have to angle this and then rotate these around. So angle this up, rotate that down just like so, and yeah, again, just kind of leave it dangling like so. Come around in here to these arms, separate these, kind of pull those off to the side. And then this section here is going to, if you get these out of the way, this section here detaches, and then this whole section here lifts up and around, and then you can bring these down. Those are just going to sit there, and then rotate these legs around like so. Take these. Now the instructions, it's kind of weird. Well, rotate his head, I guess. The instructions actually tell you to leave it like this, but the packaging shows them up like this, and I think it looks a lot better with them up like so. But when you do that, you have to then bring this all the way down, and then underneath this little bit right here is a little hole section that tabs in here. So just bring that down, push that into place like so, rotate these arms around just like so. Now kind of fiddle with these and get these out of the way. You can take these off, and I'm just gonna do it for the game look, kind of bend these, and then you're gonna have that game aesthetic where the claws are coming over his shoulder. Kind of straighten out his legs a little bit more. Take these bits, these angle up, kind of get that nicely positioned. Rotate this, slide this bit up, do that on this side, just like so. Kind of straighten everything out. And here you have Kickback in his really cool looking robot mode. And like I said, depending on really what you want to use for a display option, I mean, you could do the classic look, you could do the video game look. This is more the video game look, I suppose. Now, you can take these, rotate these around, and put these down here if you really wanted to. Or you can just, instead of, I mean, Kickback did have these kind of wings up here. So I usually will leave these attached there and there. Kind of bend them a little bit and kind of keep them pointing straight up, and that gives them more of a classic look, which I really do dig. Granted, that gives a really tall profile on the guy, but again, it's kind of accurate to the actual G1 version, which is really very cool. Like I said, very updated look for him. And then if you really wanted to, you could leave these down. It just really kind of depends on your personal preference, I guess. I mean, I personally like them flailing up just a little bit. I think that's a little bit cool. And then you got some nice detail on the inside here that really kind of shows off. But beyond that, though, aesthetically, I love the way this guy looks. Honestly, of all the current deluxe figures that I have, at least from the Fall of Cybertron line, this is my favorite figure. I love the way that this guy looks. Now, Starscream is a very nice figure, and we're going to get to that when I do that review, but I really think that this one just has a nice combination of great looking alt mode, fantastic looking robot mode, and a transformation that is simple, like I said, but complex and really kind of interesting. You know, the flipping around of his torso and everything here was really kind of surprising and really kind of threw me for a loop initially. Now, for his accessories, as I said, he does come with this giant thing that he just holds in his hand, and it's really kind of big and goofy looking. Not a big fan of this as a weapon. I mean, that's a BFG if I've ever seen one. And then, like I said, you just pull that, or well, actually, you don't pull it, you just push it, and it's kind of a pain, but, come on. Gosh. All right, you just push it, and it goes flying. I mean, it's nothing spectacular. It is what it is. It's not one of the mech tech weapons, which I know so many people hate, but I'm just not a real big fan of this in general. You can also take these off, and you can plug these on the side here, I guess. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Here. And let's do this one as well. And you create this kind of crossbow looking thing, which that does look pretty cool. But again, it's the same, you know, silly kind of gimmick. Not a big fan, honestly, of that. And to be totally honest, I would prefer just to leave these bits on here and give him a better looking robot mode. That's just kind of my opinion, I suppose. And you know, we're all entitled to our opinions. You might like it, you might not. I don't know. But like I said, I love this particular look. It just is, it's more G1 and more classic for me. as I did show, you can take these off and have it have the actual game look to it. It just really is a personal preference sort of thing. It really depends on what you like. Now, first articulation. Now, these bits here, they are on ball joints, and then obviously you can see they're on a swivel joint here, so there is some articulation here in these claws. The head is on a little bit of a ball joint, not a heck of a lot, but it's not overly bad. These are very soft rubber, so you probably do want to be very careful with those. So that's the head. The shoulders here, they're on ball joints, so good range of motion there. It rotates here at the elbow. The wrists actually rotate, but because of these giant arm, but forearm bits here, kind of gets in the way, and there's not a lot of posability going on with it. Nothing at the waist. These little not mandibles, that's his mouth. These little extra arms here are on the back, but let's see. I mean, you can really see how loose this one is. I mean, this one is a real kind of floppy mess. But again, ball joints are the easiest fixes of any problem on a Transformer figure. So that's not going to bother me too much. But ball joints here at the hips, they also rotate at the upper part of the thigh, bend at the knee, and then the feet are really nicely articulated. You've got an ball joint here right at the ankle, and you get a wonderful range of motion with that. I mean, here's my posing, guys. Super pose. That's, yeah. Really very unfortunate, my posing skills, but this figure is absolutely impressive. I super dig the look of this guy. Speaking about the look, I just want to kind of show you his head here. That is, you know, what's kind of funny is the head really, while it has a very video game look and it has a very classic kind of feel, the head really does kind of remind me of the Insecticons from Transformers Prime. So there's a lot of different kind of display options with this guy. Just overall, I really think that this is one of the best looking figures. The paint on here is actually pretty good too. I love the gold detailing on here. But it's really a wonderful figure, and without a doubt, guys, if you see him in stores, I would recommend picking him up all day long. Now, I don't necessarily know if I would consider him a troop builder, because he's a specific character. He's Kickback. He's not just an insecticon. So I don't necessarily know if I would ever consider this a troop builder. I'm sure some people probably would. But because of the specific kind of name that he's given, I personally don't see him as a troop builder. But, what am I going to do? Most people don't pay attention to me anyhow. So to transform him back, again, it's really kind of fun to actually do. You want to just rotate his head all the way around. Get these out of the way, take this section here. And again, like this is his like mouth. I really do kind of wish that this was a black piece, but you could paint that and do that. Just kind of lift this up like so. I want to rotate these, or slide these arm bits down on both sides. Kind of fold these bits down like so, just kind of get them out of the way. Spread the legs. Bring this all the way down. No, I'm sorry, wait. Here we go. Fold this in like so, and then get these out of the way. Rotate this all the way down and around, and I pop that piece off, and you can just, it sort of clips into place, not really, but kind of sort of, something like that. Get these little bits out of the way. You're going to bring these back. You're going to rotate this around at the shoulder, then rotate that right there. Do that on this side as well. Rotate that around. Rotate him around at the elbow, and then these bits here will tab into place just like so. Kind of straighten that out, then angle this. I'm gonna just, this is kind of hard to see, but you want to angle this here. There's a little swivel joint that you need to angle and then rotate the leg back. Hopefully you guys could see that fairly well. So again, we're going to bring this, we're going to angle this bit and then rotate this around, and then these just, they don't really peg into place, they kind of just rest there, and it sits there perfectly fine. There's no problem with it. It's just I wish it kind of actually pegged into something. Then you can straighten these out, and again really kind of give these a good solid push to kind of lock them into that section. It's not as strong as I wish it would be. It's kind of flimsy, but it serves its purpose, I suppose. Okay, and then just straighten these out, angle that. I'm going to put this guy back on here after I drop it. Put you right there. Okay, so you got the little wings, straighten up, and they kind of fold really nicely along the actual bend of the arm, which is really kind of cool. So then take this, fold this out, rotate the foot, and then again, you're just going to angle all this stuff just like so, and then really kind of just
position everything. It really is kind of, oh wait, I had it the wrong way. I'm sorry. It's supposed to be like this. I apologize. And then rotate that around. It is, honestly, there's a lot of fiddling with this just to kind of get everything where it's supposed to be, but it's not complicated by any stretch of the imagination. It's very simple to transform him. It's just there's a little bit of fiddle involved with it, I guess, and straighten these all out. And here you have Kickback in his back in his insect mode. Honestly, the bottom line with this figure is that, as I said, this works nicely in a couple different kind of categories. As far as a video game figure, I think it looks very nice. It obviously recreates that look very nicely. And with the different display options for these back wing sort of things, you can really kind of customize it to either look like that game or kind of make him look more like a classic figure by having the wings stick straight up. So as I said, there are different options for this guy, and that's really very cool. The insect mode here, while there are some QC problems, that's really all there is, just QC problems. Beyond that, I really think this does a nice job of really kind of creating that grasshopper look. Granted, he's a Cybertronian grasshopper, but I still think it works. The transformation is simple, but kind of fiddly enough where things are a little bit complicated for you to actually do, and that actually makes him fun to transform. And then when you get him in that robot mode, as I said, with the different display options, be it if you want to make him look like his video game counterpart or basically a classic version of Kickback, I think it's wonderfully done. As I said, this is probably my favorite deluxe figure from the new wave, and without a doubt, I would highly recommend picking this up. This guy is just that darn cool in my opinion. But that's about it, guys, so I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Keep in touch with me, find out recent purchases as well as upcoming video reviews, all at facebook.com/teambotimus and twitter.com/optibotimus. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.